Hi guys, I'll answer your questions for you.
Start off right in the front here, Bill.
You've now had time to really study Penn State's defense. When you look at that, look at them, and knowing what their offense can do, is this a game where you really want to control the ball as much as possible, really have the offensive line dominate this game?
They have to. Yeah, this will be, you know, it can't be 3 and outs, those type of things. And every big game like the TCU game, it's going to be a field position game. So they're, you know, 7 years now, it's going to be anytime a big game, it's field position, take care of the ball, and move the chains against the dynamic offense. And their defense is really good, too.
And in terms of the running game, obviously, you know, Tulane was kind of a different story because of the way they played, but how important is it to get the running game?
Have to, and we're an offense line-driven program. You've heard that before. And when they're on, we win, and they have to be on.
Front row right, Austin.
Urban, there are a number of big programs, high school programs across the country that you and Penn State both have guys on their roster from. Do you view these games as more important when you go head-to-head against that kind of recruiting foe? Sure.
I think, especially in that part of the country, you know, and you start talking about Jersey, Maryland, the Eastern Shore, you know, that's a big battle with them.
The games in the last few years have been so intense. Has that been the same way, seeing Penn State more often in some of these schools and going head-to-head with them 12 months a year?
Yeah, it's. I'll tell you, our conference in the East Sides, it's you know, it's not just Penn State. This is a real one, and top to bottom, man. It's day to day and recruiting, day to day and preparing your team.
Third row left, Dan.
Urban, there was a report yesterday about Brady Taylor had arthroscopic knee surgery. What's kind of a prognosis for him for the rest of the season?
Yeah, should be back in about 4 weeks. We're looking at the bye week. He had a little meniscal thing that he had to get taken care of.
Meyer missed the last couple of games. Is he dealing with an injury as well?
Hamstring, and he's back.
Front row middle, Dave.
Coach, you've mentioned how you need to stay on schedule offensively against a team like Penn State, but you also have a quarterback and just an offense in general that can really push the ball downfield. Just that balance, the balancing act you guys have to kind of walk offensively. Can you discuss that a little bit?
Well, Ryan and Kevin have, you know, they've done a good job. It's, you know, you got to be aggressive, and a lot of that's how this game plays out. And you know, I don't want them to change the way they've been calling plays. So there is that fine line when you have to get some move the chain opportunities, but then you have to score points as well. And that's the chess match of a game.
And Tate Martell's got a lot of valuable reps through 4 games. Just how ready would he be? I'm sure you're hoping you don't need him.
Better be.
Yeah. Just what have you seen from Tate?
A competitive guy, and a guy that wants to play, and which you want him. And you know, dynamic athlete, kind of a cowboy out there a little bit, you know, when he runs around, but he's just trying to make a play, competitive and very talented.
Second row left, Ari.
Urban, coming into the season, everybody just knew what Nick Bosa was and potential top 5 pick. But in the time since he got injured, Draymond Jones has seemed unblockable. I mean, he really stepped it up at the end of the TCU game, obviously, and last week had another big game. And now I've seen that he's popping up on in the top 5 in some mock drafts. What are you seeing from the way that he's playing, and is he playing at about as high of a level as he possibly could? I know you had a lot of really good things.
A lot of football left. I love Draymond, the way he's grown up, the way he plays. Him and Coach Jay obviously work well together. Yeah, he's a dynamic guy, and we need him. And, we need everybody at full speed for this one, and he's got to be a dominator in this game.
You said that, you know, just what you saw from him in spring, when sometimes when guys have one step in the NFL and one here, that they don't approach things the right way, but given what he's doing right now, how much of that do you think is because of the way that he approached stuff, and is this what you anticipated from him?
It was, because just the kind of person he is. You know, I remember there was even conversation about him leaving last year, and I think his game compared to last year is shot way up. And that's, once again, you get another year with Coach Jay and Coach Marotti, and he's a very serious player, and plus he goes really hard.
Last couple questions. Front row left, Bill.
Urban, I think the last time we asked you about Damari McCall, you said he was an H-back, and we saw him at tailback the other day. Just what's his position at the moment, and is there room for him to have a role in the offense moving forward?
He plays in both, and he's actually, you know, he's going to be involved in this game plan, I think. So, he's just, you got to play tailback, you got to get stronger than he is, and then to be wide out, you got to be a little more fluid as a receiver. So he's right in between, but he's working his tail off, and I love him, and he can add value.
And final questions, Tim.
Yeah, Urban, a couple of things. Number one, is there anything about that atmosphere over there at Penn State that you really like? I mean, from a college football extravaganza standpoint, or is it just tough all the way for the visiting team?
I think that makes college football great. I think that is a great environment. But do I like it, did you say? I like it if we find a way to win a game. That's why we're there, and they're there to do the opposite. So I think it's, to answer your question, it's a great environment. And the one thing about the Big Ten, I'm on a Big Ten bandwagon because I think it's, the environments around this league have really picked up, man. I think they're, you name, I didn't see that 7 years ago. Now I feel it everywhere, and I think that's great for our conference.
And this week, have there been any developments from an injury standpoint? Is Mike Weber back 100%?
Mike Weber's ready to go.
Brian Snead, does he continue to be on the
Evaluation.
list? Anybody else?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.